Hey there everyone, welcome back to GameVine. My name is Dave and that is Miko, and today we are reviewing MegaCity, Oceania. Let's do it. Now, it's going to be one of those reviews where I keep my face out of it. I got a pimple that I don't want to show off, but this is a review copy from Hub Games. Thank you so very much for your support. Really do appreciate it. And this was one of the games that I really wanted to review during Dexterity Week, but I just couldn't get my hands on. So going into it, know that this is a dexterity game, but it has a very gamery twist, which means there are victory points to be had. There's an actual game foundation to this when it comes to strategy, but it has the first base note of dexterity. What do I mean by that? Well, let's go ahead and show you. Okay, so this is what comes in the box, and wah wah woo wah. There are pieces galore of many colors and many shapes. I think there are 100 plus pieces in here. My favorite ones are these sandblasted kind of smoke glassy plastic pieces. Now you're going to be using these various shapes that have holes and flats to them to make your buildings and push them out to sea into the mega city in the middle. And the rest of the components aren't shabby either. You got a nice palette of colors for the cards, good quality cardboard for that, and thick cardboard for the tiles here. And you have just cubes, which is fine. I will say the cardboard, I've played this game at least a good 5 times, and it's still shedding paper, which is not the biggest deal. I just thought I'd point that out. Very convenient kind of measurer here. You got a bag because you'll be putting all these pieces in there. And actually, the insert has you keep the cardboard punch out and put at the bottom, so the pieces fit snugly in the box. I've never seen that before. It's very interesting. They tell you to do that on that note there. But that's pretty much it. Just great pieces right here. And now let me show you how to play. Alright, so this is the game setup. I'm going to be going over the basic rules, but of course read the rule book for yourself just to make sure you know every one of the things. Now, everyone will start with the park, and depending on how many players there are, you might start with pieces. But the name of the game is to get as many prestige points by building structures out of these pieces and moving tiles to the mega city and or building monuments around parks in order to get those prestige points. And you'll continue the play of the game until all 4 of these landmark cards have been taken. After that's done, then you'll count up your points and see who's the winner. Now, this is a dexterity game with a twist. Now, on your turn, you can do 2 different standard actions. You can take one of these contracts, and that will fulfill one of your actions. Or you can take a platform up here that is from these 3 and put it in front of you. You can take buildings pieces out of the bag. You'll take 3 pieces out of the bag and put them in front of you. You can rezone one of these tiles, and that might be something you'll want to do because the contracts correspond to the colors, and you'll always know what's on the back side, so you can flip that over, and that's rezoning. You can refresh all of these tiles by putting these on the bottom and refreshing these instead of having the ones that you need to select. Or you can reorganize the contract cards because the only one that you can take is the one that's showing. Now you can do any of these actions 2 times if you want. If you want to get building pieces twice and end up with 6 pieces, well, you can do that. Once you've done your 2 actions, it's your turn to go ahead and take all the pieces you have and have a contract that you're trying to build for. So let's instead get this red one here, and it has 6 pieces. You have to use all 6 pieces that you need for the structure, and it has to be 35 centimeters tall, and you'll be able to gauge it with that. Now you can build them any way you want. When it is not your turn, in between turns, you'll be using these things to build. There are stipulations that have to happen. You have to be touching all 3 of the white spots, and you can't touch the hex. So that's basically the utilities, lights, and all that kind of stuff. And you use 6 different bricks to do that. You have to use 6 different bricks. And you can build kind of flimsy structures if you want to get that height, or you can build more stouter ones because you will be pushing these to the middle. So I have all 6 here. Now let's see if it adds up to the 35. I think it just hits it, which is nice. And on my turn, instead of doing a basic action, I can say I'm going to construct, and I just push this bad boy to the Mega City, and voila, I put one of my colors on here saying that this is mine. I will be scoring for that, of course, with the contracts. And if any of these happen to fall down when I'm pushing, I would just take everything back and construct again and do it on my next turn. Now, parks are different. You can't have a park touch another park, and you can't build on a park, a structure, but you just place it here, and then you place a single piece on here. This is a monument. You, of course, put your color on here so you know what tile it belongs to, and any buildings around it will score points, prestige points, and you'll have other ways to score for the parks as well. And you're also trying to get these tiles that are up here. I get all messed up because of Miko. If you get one of each of the contracts done, you grab this tallest building. It has this, and every time that switches, whoever has the tallest building, that will switch as well. And these landmarks are other contracts that can be done now, 75 and 8+. And again, when all 4 of them have been taken, then that will trigger the end of the game. And that's essentially it. You continue to play. There are certain things you want to follow when placing, like parks can't touch parks. The monuments, you want to make sure you're placing them in the right way. And there are buildings that are going to be built that look quite spectacular. But again, you have to push them to the Mega City in the middle in order for them to count. And there's no limit to the amount of pieces you can have, and you just keep playing until you reach the goal of claiming all these landmark cards, and whoever has the most prestige points at the end wins. And that's it. Now let me tell you what I think about this game. Let's go. So that is how you play MegaCity Oceania, and what do I give this game? It gets an 85 from me, which is the GameVine Play It Award. I like this quite a bit. Now, I like dexterity games, but when you add an actual foundation of a playable game that makes you think, makes you use tactics and strategy, well, then I'm hopping on board. And I think that's why I was very enamored with this game and quite interested from the get-go. And the pieces are just brilliant, wonderful, crazy shapes, and I'm not the most innovative person and not the most steady of hand, so my buildings most of the time looked like that. But my partner, she was able to steadily move a fantastic creation like this to the city. That is a part that tells that that is the tallest building in the city at the moment. I forgot to go over that, but there are a few hiccups with this game. I do think sometimes it's too random when it comes to the contracts that you get, and some people might get better options. And I do think it suffers from AP, whereas most dexterity games wouldn't. You're just basically putting pieces out or doing whatever kind of dexterous thing that the game calls for. Not here. You're building, and I love that you're building in between your turns. That doesn't take up any time, and it keeps everybody engaged. That was my favorite thing about this. But when it comes to thinking what contracts you're going to put out, do you go for the park? Do you go for the monument strategy? Well, I've scratched my head for longer than what I would in any other kind of dexterity game. But I'm not holding its feet to the fire too much for that. Again, 85 is a fantastic score. So all in all, I do think this is a great pickup for anyone who likes dexterity games and who like gamery type of games. Do not scoff at this game before you play it if you just like dexterity games. This might win you over. And the realm I think it's in is a little above the novice players. So if you've been in the hobby for maybe a month or two, this would be a game that I would pick up for your experience level. Now, if you want to pick up this game, it is down in the link below. Again, thank you Hub Games for hooking us up with this review copy. I love partnering up with companies and helping get the word out about their fantastic game, and this one right here, just based on the cover, it shines fantastic. Again, thank you so much Vine Nation for joining me in today's review. Until the next time that I see you, my name is Dave, and have a great rest of your day and a great time with all you play. You heard it here on the GameVine. Bye. Vine Nation, we love making content here for you on the channel, and we're almost at 15,000 subscribers, so subscribe now and help us out. This video right here, I think you'll like. This video right here, YouTube thinks you'll like. Or you can just sit here and watch me dance as a dinosaur for a little bit longer. You can visit us at our social media outlets, and we're going to be improving our Patreon here soon. That's all for today. Miko, it's time to go. Good girl, Miko.